Friday night. And it's time for the best 90 minutes of your life. Welcome to Sports Panorama, live on Citi 97.3 FM. Yep. The years turn to months, the months turn to weeks, the weeks have turned to days. And we are here, the 34th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations, dubbed the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations, is here, happening in Cote d'Ivoire, next door, and the Black Stars are there. Can the Black Stars win an AFCON again? We'll find out. My name is Nathan Kwa, sitting in for your regular host, Benjamin Nketia. This is Sports Panorama. Your thoughts and comments are welcome on 0549 986 996. Show proudly brought to us by Bell Beverages, producers of the one and only Bell Puka. Yeah. And of course, Game Park Games also bringing us Sports Panorama. What will happen this weekend? Can the Black Stars start the AFCON really well? Will they win their first game? They take on Cape Verde. How will the tournament play out? What are your own expectations of the AFCON? Of course, the English Premier League is still on and it's live on Citi 97.3 FM. Manchester United will welcome Tottenham Hotspur to Old Trafford. In the meantime, Jadon Sancho has gone to Dortmund on loan. Hey, MUFC. All that and more on this edition of Sports Panorama, live on your dial 97.3 FM. 0549 986 996. Let me introduce the guys. They are ready. Coach Christopher Nimley is here. Gabby Ofer is also in the house. Bernard Abekuochi will be joining us. Edwin Kakofi, I'm sure he'll be popping in and out. And you are also joining us on the text and WhatsApp number. Oh, guys, how are we doing? Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Kwa.
Good evening, Mr. Kwa.
Mr. Kwa, good evening, Mr. Kwa.
It's Friday.
Yes, the AFCON is here.
Yeah.
The AFCON is here.
Yaba. No.
All right. Before we get into anything,
this is actually the only AFCON trophy.
It's the only AFCON trophy.
Yeah.
Coach, please give us the opening prayer and let's get cracking.
Yo, what's about? Wakashi dadio no. Oko manche yele aba.
Oh, ni
Wena soa ni masoa na mansoa. Shabu. Feda kada. Akabano ba jowo. No John Sports Panorama.
Oh, John.
Mene kometuele. If you have a program ne oba we blasters and so. Many saka make budget baba na make budget ba ko. Ba sebita flache. I mean feel like ka wotish lebi o for here nke ya we.
Hey,
ka wotish lebi o for here nke ba shi. Ya ka wo here kan. Wo here bele wo le phone. Waka yowa mo fia mo ni ye anopale. Hani le akashi. Ghana mamu fe ne ke sho.
Mamu.
Ni ko ke Ghana mamu fe sho mo. Be oya mo shi ogbo. Yo wa jomo wo yi. Mr. Kwa mene den le dan che ebeshi ese mi. Le che ba fe no ne sa no na fe o ye bo gba mi.
amen.
Ye bi o wa kwa wo team e. Ani cup o ba anyo wo lo. Hello 42 years ba ani cup o ba anyo wo lo. Hello be 42 years ba cha no ne ya no na kan.
Oh, coach, you say what cup?
Ani cup o ba anyo wo no na ya play Cote d'Ivoire. I play cup e. Ani cup o ba anyo wo lo. Yo wa boden che ba chon They know what the program now when he Sunday can walk about for ye yes to me. Amen.
Amen.
Join us on the number 0549-986-996. Can the Black Stars win the AFCON this year? Big question for the gods. All right, so the AFCON starts this weekend. Like I said, the years turn to months, the months have turned to weeks, the weeks have turned to days.
Yeah.
And the people of Cote d'Ivoire are very, very, very happy. I'd give anything to be there, but Charlie, I can't, so I have to be here. Because I line up. So
Line up some movement.
And also, Charlie, because one of my very good friends is in Abidjan. He was, we were planning one or two things, but it couldn't happen. But we'll still go to Cote d'Ivoire a little later. God willing, if you have strength and all of that. But the AFCON is happening. Cote d'Ivoire are getting to host the AFCON for the second time in their history. Mm-hmm. The last time they did that was in 1984.
Yeah.
And then the Black Stars walked into that competition as defending champions. They exited the group stage, and all kinds of stories have been said about the team, that particular team, and all of that. 40 plus years, the Black Stars are going back to Cote d'Ivoire. And we're asking, can they get it right this time? The 27 players have been chosen. This week, they arrived in Abidjan in the Akindi side. Some of the kids in the Charlie.
Kaftan.
The drip.
No.
The drip.
Too much heat.
No, but Nathan, did you see?
Shout out to the people that I heard their name is it Go-Kart? I'll try and get their name. They did the kaftan for
Kaftan Komiche Kalahi.
Tenonji.
Mini I Navy alumina.
Which one is this?
Blue Joe mini Navy.
Oh no, is that they did have a blue kaftan?
No, there was
They didn't.
no.
That
was blue.
No, that one was.
Oh, no.
It
They
was
started-
a doctored image.
they
So
started-
they were white.
Okay.
Yeah, they started with the white.
White for she can blue.
Talking about white. Shout out to the people who designed the white kaftan. They are called cutout. So
Yeah.
shout outs to cutout. They did really well with the white kaftans.
I mean I trouble them wow. Dressing.
Sorry, guys. Okay, where do you want to start from the AFCON in general? We should talk about the Black Stars.
I would want to start with the AFCON in general.
Okay, so like I was saying, Cote d'Ivoire get to host it
Yeah.
again. Gabi, your own expectations. What are you looking for after the 11th of February? What will you check on your list? What are the things you look out for? Let me put it that way. In terms of a good tournament.
In terms of a good tournament, one, I want to start with facilities. The pitches. That would be hosting 24 countries. And for the third time in the AFCON, it's happening. I'm starting facilities because it's been a very dominant discussion in our part of the world, especially if you want to push or sell football. Because you look at one of the stadia that will be hosting the AFCON, and I said this on other shows we've had. That's the Felix Houphouët-Boigny Stadium in Abidjan. Yeah, you need to take your time and mention it. Yeah.
Felix Houphouët-Boigny
Stadium.
Now,
Yeah.
for those who are young, Felix Houphouët-Boigny was one-time president of Cote d'Ivoire.
Great
the
stuff.
Late 80s to mid 90s.
Chop the post chair.
Oh yeah, the one that they did top chair. And there were several stories, very interesting
it, yeah.
stories
Yeah.
around
Very powerful, man.
the myth of Felix Houphouët-Boigny.
So,
now,
I'm-
Felix Houphouët-Boigny is Nkrumah's contemporary, if you like.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm starting with that
in terms
because-
of people who led the independence fight for their country.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm starting with that because, look, initially it was a 29,000 capacity stadium. And when CAF announced that Cote d'Ivoire were the next country to go there and play the AFCON, initially it was supposed to be held in June, July, but because of the adverse weather conditions there, they shifted it to January. They began to do some touches. So now it's a 33,000 capacity stadium. And you look at the grass, it's a natural turf, a natural grass. Now, if we want to even look at where the Black Stars are even training, at the Stade Municipal in Abidjan, it's also a natural turf, looking very green. Now, somebody will want to raise this argument that, look, Cote d'Ivoire can also make excuses that they've also been struggling with some weather conditions or weather concerns, and so they are unable to keep their turf so green. Because that's the excuses we've always made in this country, that the weather is not so good for the grass we have here and blah, 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 so we cannot keep it green. But they've pumped in so much money to make this AFCON one of the best for them after hosting it for the first time in 1984. But in terms of the footballing bit, it didn't go so well for them because they exited in the group stage and Cameroon eventually won that competition. But I think that they would want to win it again. So in terms of facilities, I think that they did all these touches to make sure that they give a very decent account of themselves in terms of hosting the competition. And I want to give them props for that, thumbs up for that, because look, you have to, like I said, if you want to sell football, one of the very first things that you have to take care of is infrastructure. Talent-wise will come in there. And Cote d'Ivoire have shown us the way. That look, this is what they want to do, and this is what they want to sell to Africa.
Okay.
So in terms of that, I think it's good. The second thing I want to touch on is, this edition has seen an increment in the prize money.
Okay.
By the Confederation of African, yes, so 40%.
To 7 million.
Yes, no, 5 million to 7.
5 million to 7.
CAF paid Senegal 5 million. This time around, they are giving
the winner,
the eventual champion, 7.
$7 million.
Yes, $7 million. Thank you. Runner-up takes what? $4 million. The losing semi-finalists will take $2.3 million. And then the 4 quarter-finalists will take 1.3. And that's a huge boost. According to CAF, they want to elevate the prestige of the tournament and also to help football competitions in Africa grow to some extent.
It makes you think about, imagine if Ghana got its hands on any of those chunks of money.
I was just about coming there. I was just about coming there.
Oh, nah.
I was just about coming there. And you see, somebody would say, yes, the Black Stars have been to several tournaments. The Black Stars have been to, this will be what, our 25th AFCON appearance, I believe. 4th appearance at the World Cup. But in terms of money, or what we've got at the tournaments we've been to, in terms of pumping it into infrastructure, 0 on paper to show, or even 0 on the eye to show, which is not looking good. Senegal got their $5 million. They are pumping it into their academy, one of the best academies in Senegal, to pass through and rise to wherever you want to get to is Generation Foot.
Gen Foot.
And they are benefiting from what Senegal have done or are doing on the African space. You get it? So those are one of the things, the biggest things at this year's tournament that I think that are one of the things that has caught my attention. I mean, like I said, in terms of the footballing bit, Cote d'Ivoire would want to do a host and win. Because you look at the talent they've got as a mix with a bit of experience and young talent. Simon Adingra, we know what he's done for Brighton and Hove Albion. They still got Max Gradel, my favorite player, in there. I think this will be his 7th AFCON appearance. So there's a lot of things around this the AFCON tournament this time around that is really juicy. You look at our group like this. Ghana and Egypt has got a lot of history because those two teams have been to the AFCON finals 9 times. Egypt have gone on to win 7, but the Black Stars have won 4. Ghana has got a bit of history with Cote d'Ivoire themselves. They've been to 2 finals with Cote d'Ivoire, 1992, 2015, and on all those occasions, they've lost on penalties. So you see, there are a lot of things around this AFCON that makes it very juicy, and you want to keep tabs on. So I think these are some of the few things that has caught my attention.
Bernard, I want to focus on the Black Stars, and I love where Gabi is coming
just can't
from.
resist.
Look, now when we look at the African countries around us, it becomes scary football-wise. What some of the African countries are doing, it seems like we are not watching. Because we get a lot of monies coming in, and we should be able to do something with this money. Have you been to Pram Pram recently? Have you seen the Ghanaman Soccer Center of Excellence? That's a shame.
That name.
That's
When
a shame.
you talk about Ghanaman, what?
Soccer Center of
Center
Excellence.
of Excellence.
What's excellence in that space?
Wow.
No, you are doing great things there. Excellence. You're
What
right.
do I know? I mean,
Breeding
Is
scorpions,
that no? But I mean, that's what we camp our female national team for.
Snakes.
And mosquitoes.
Scorpions.
mosquitoes.
as for mosquitoes is bonus. Because it is the normal net system that they are using as window, what have you, and all of it. But that is like in 1982. Why are we in 2023 practicing staff of 1982.
2024.
Oh God, we give you glory. 2024. And we are thinking in 1982. And that's the gap. We are not a football nation. No. Let us not confuse ourselves. We are nowhere close what we call a football nation. Because football nations, it comes with development, infrastructure-wise, good quality pitches. When Black Star, of course, what's his name? The guy who won number 10 and said it was scary for him and took it. Kojo Samoa. He's putting a facility of this is one man. But we're having a lot of money coming in from the competitions we involve ourselves in. And we are unable to use the monies for something good for what we call our grade A product. Then it means we have a problem. It means we aren't thinking right. We put it in administration and operation, what have you. That's not needed. It moves from one step to the other. So we need to be doing things right. So when we look at the African countries around that and what they are doing, it's scary because the facilities that we have that we even call the national nation, how do we call it?
Nation
Wembley. Oh, is that Wembley?
Accra Sports
See,
Stadium.
we give names like we call the Ghana Soccer Center of Excellence. It's not excellent. Nothing is excellent there. Then we call Accra Sports Stadium Nations Wembley. You go there and the pitch is suffering. Cape Coast Sports Stadium, the lights are out for weeks now. Every facility we know, the Babaya Sports Stadium, they owe
a Sipon.
So are we a football nation? That's a big question. We are not. We are nowhere close that to call ourselves that or to label ourselves as a football. So I look at that point, number one. And then you look at the other side of the narrative, and we are failing there as well. Appointing, you see, we don't have a plan. What's our plan for the Black Stars? The Black Stars is that's the national. For me, it's our national identity, sport-wise.
Okay. If you say plan, what do you mean?
No, if I say plan, we should take. I mean, in terms of the technical area of the team, there should be a plan. Okay, we want to win the African Cup of Nations, say 8 years or some number of years from now. So we plan. What's the idea? We need to get players within the age, of this, an age bracket of this, from say 23 or say 21 to say 26 thereabout because of experience. Let's extend it to say 28. Then we groom these players for certain tournament. We target to win a tournament at a certain number in terms of years.
Okay.
That plan is not there. We do not have, because we do Matramakwe, which we don't want to talk about. We don't have one single coach with a certain vision. Even when they are very good coaches, they who want to be in our Black Stars at the head of the technical team. Because of manipulations and some of these things, we are unable to keep, or go for proper coaches.
But we have the DNA now.
It is not working. You see the DNA in the Black Stars or any of our football. When you put the football structure down, when it descends down to Division 1, do you see any DNA? There's not. DNA is paperwork. We aren't seeing the DNA. We should see it. See,
okay.
That's why I'm saying that. Enough of the operational and government, bit of the whole football structure.
You feel that
Let it be practical. It should be practical.
Okay.
If somebody goes for a World Cup that we came in shame, and the person gets that amount, how much are they giving the management committee? That thing they should be scrubbed off. What do they go and do?
Their management committee.
What's their role?
They manage.
Manage what? Because our football stuff is not even well managed. See, if we don't face and talk about some of these problems, we can't move from where we are currently. We need to move from where we are and understand that our football is suffering. It is not about qualifying for World Cup or qualifying for the African Cup of Nations. Oh, but the Kivets will come, the Guinea-Bissau, those people, they'll come. It's normal. But qualifying, of course, is difficult. But, you can qualify and come, no show, and go back. There's an appearance, something. You go. But the thing is that our focus should be, we are a big football country. When we amassed 4 trophies, the other countries who we thought were in competition, when we were calling ourselves bigger or powers of African football, what number were they having? You take Egypt. What was their number?
I think you had what? 1, 2, whatever.
And now, what were we doing? How many finals have we been in? What was the idea and the plan? We go and bring this coach. We do 1 or 2 hours. We say, no, Charlie, this guy is no good, Charlie. Then the government to come inside and something. Charlie, what are we doing? What are we doing with our football? Sometimes, look, we look at the legends we have in the country. People who've contributed to the Black Stars, yeah?
Okay.
And you look at what we have now, I think it's even a shame. I mean, bigger European brands, when we get to tournaments of this nature, want to get our legends to talk. And what happens? They look back and, Charlie, some way.
You know,
Some way.
Chris, Yaminta joined us. Yeah, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Nathan.
Chris, let me from a coaching perspective, we'll talk about the Black Stars. I just want to get these out of the way. From a coaching perspective, what are you expecting to see in terms of like any tactical trends you want to look out for? Are you really, from a coaching perspective, what do you want to see?
I think going to the tournament, of the 24 coaches that are there, I think only 3 or 4 are past winners.
Okay.
I think the Algeria manager, that of Senegal.
Yeah.
I think some other 2.
South Africa, Hugo Bruce.
Hugo Bruce, yes. He won with Cameroon.
Yeah, so 3 are past winners. So the standard of coaching in terms of being there, experience it, to have won it, is a bit on the downside. So I'm looking forward to the challenge that in itself would have thrown to the rest of the other coaches. Okay. So I'm expecting top-notch coaching. Maybe minus our man. No, truth be told. Because I'm expecting, look, one coach that I'm really looking forward to see is the coach of Gambia.
Tom St. Feet.
Yes. I really want to look at him again.
It's a very, very interesting manager.
Because
he worked in Togo. He seems to have very... 2 years ago, which team? He brought the Gambian team and they were causing all kinds of problems.
I want to really look at him again. I want to look at the Zambian coach as well.
Okay.
These are the 2 coaches I'm really looking up to.
That's Avram Grant?
So Gambia coach.
Yes.
Avram Grant.
Yes.
Avram Grant, yeah.
I want to see whether he can do something spectacular with the Zambian team like he did with the Black Stars in 2015. Having said that, apart from me expecting to see very top-notch coaching, I really want to see some good tactical play, tactical awareness on behalf of the playing body.
Okay.
For example, if you take the Moroccans and you put them there, although this time around they will not be playing most of their games as underdogs, I want to see the other side of the Moroccan coach.
Okay.
Because in the World Cup, you remember, against Portugal, against Spain, against, I've forgotten the other, but in most of their games,
Croatia,
they went there as underdogs.
Yeah.
So he could easily get them to sit back, very difficult to get beat, close the spaces in between, and play on the counter. This time around, they are commanding a huge respect in the whole tournament. And therefore, teams are rather going to sit back on them. I want to see how tactically that coach that made the whole Africa very, very proud with his awareness, his anticipation, his proper tactical arrangement of movement of his players on and off the ball. I want to see how he will do his that. If now he's been asked to go and break teams down, go and cut them open and find a way through. I'm really looking forward to see him. I want to see how the defending champion, Senegal, my one and only Aliou Cisse, how he will go into the tournament this time around as a champion. I want to see the type of or the level of defense he's going to give to the title. Because they've won it only once in their history. And I think that tactically, it should be a motivation to go and win it again. Because they've been there for so long. They only won it the last time. If care is not taken, it's going to take them another 23 editions
to win it again.
So I want to see what he's going to do.
I see.
And of course, with the quality of players on parade, we pick the Egyptian, Mo Salah, Trezeguet, Mustafa, the 2 Egyptian goalkeeper, El Shawari, is it Shawari or Sharani? Sharawi. There's the El Ali goalkeeper. I really want to see that guy. You look at the Ivorians, Sebastian Haller, Serge Aurier. I want to see how they will play under pressure on home turf. Because the demand is non-negotiable. They have to perform. I want to see how Victor Osimhen, as African best player, going into this tournament, will again cement his status as one of the good poachers in the game.
I see.
So I'm looking forward to actually witnessing a lot. I want to see how Chris Hughton is going to surprise me. Have you seen something? You know, if you see something, say it. Ghana ma mufembo what way?
Oh, coach, we've seen something.
Well, I want to see how he's going to surprise
Yeah,
me.
he performs
Because I don't
in the
know.
second half.
I really don't know how he's going to surprise me, to be honest with you. So I'm waiting to see what he will do at the tournament. I want to see what Sadio Mane will do. I've missed him. Haven't you missed him?
Yeah, I have.
I have missed him.
Coach, Andrea, you.
Forget him no more. Ajele me. I want to see what Sadio Mane will do. Mohamed Salah. I want to see what they will do. I've missed Mahrez since he left to the Gulf. I don't know what he's doing of late. Is he the flamboyant sort of Mahrez that we used to see? Good pace, left and right, very tricky, planting the ball in the back of the net and all that. I want to see. I've missed this guy. So I'm really looking forward to see Africa showcase itself to the rest of the world.
If I ask you, which country do you think is under the most pressure?
I think it has to be two. It has to be the host nation in Morocco.
Host nation and Morocco.
Yeah, not even Senegal as defending champions.
So the pressure is on Cote d'Ivoire and then Morocco.
And Morocco. Cote d'Ivoire because they are hosting the tournament and they need to keep the tournament alive. And I believe the longer they stay or the further they progress into the tournament, the more the interest, the enthusiasm of the tournament is going to escalate. And I believe Morocco, this is their golden generation. Because of what they did at the World Cup. Look, take it or leave it. They have a success story to tell when it comes to the Mundial that no other African country
made the semi-final.
can talk about. And it isn't that there had been another tournament after that. This is the tournament just after the World Cup in Qatar. And the players are all around. The Hakimi, the Amrabat, the goalkeeper from Sevilla. They are all there. Bono, solid.
And Nesri.
Their captain, the one who used to play for Wolverhampton, the left-footed Saiz. They are all there. So this is a top-notch team. First class.
I mean, I get you. You make the point about they now having to play as favorites.
Yes.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see how they handle
how
that.
they handle the weight of the expectation.
Look, it is going to be blistering. It's going to be absolutely fantastic.
Everything starts this weekend. Tell me, bring you in. I think that is a great way to segue into the Chris Hughton part of things.
Yeah.
Tell me, what on paper this is Chris Hughton's last show, right?
Yeah.
Because he's leaving, according to his contract, he's leaving.
Yeah,
after this.
performance-based contract.
Nobody.
They always leave.
Not even the
After
Prime
every
Minister will be allowed to renew that contract. Ebe Shebaya.
I see. Yeah. So for you, what are the questions Chris Hughton must answer?
What are the questions
He must answer.
Or
Or what are you looking out for?
What I'm looking out for?
Yes.
I'm looking out for for him not to be reactive, but a bit proactive. Because consistently we've seen that since Chris Hughton took up the job of the head coach of the Black Stars, Ghana's first half performances haven't been good. Second half they've improved. No matter how poor the team plays in that second half, you can always deduce that there is an improvement, some sort of improvement from the first half. And that is down to Chris Hughton's traits of being a reactive defensive coach. And so in this tournament, knowing very well that teams know for sure that the momentum of the Black Stars, the morale of the Black Stars is a bit on the low side. And so when you have a Cape Verde, for instance, playing against the Black Stars, we need to be proactive. Otherwise, we will end up conceding a goal and we'll have to react to that goal. And it might just end up seeing us or having us slip, having a win slip through our fingers. Because at the end of the day, this team doesn't do well under pressure. The core of this team played in that team in 2021, at the 2021 AFCON. And in our third game against Comoros, all we needed was a draw. All we needed was a win. We needed to avoid a loss, and would have been able to qualify as one of the best third place teams to the next round. And Ghana failed to do that. Ghana failed to even get a draw against Comoros. That would have been enough to see us progress to the next stage.
Okay.
So it's clear that this team doesn't do well under pressure. And on top of that, one of our best players wouldn't be available to Thomas Partey. And so Chris Hughton can't afford to be reactive, especially in that first game against Cape Verde. He needs to ensure that Ghana plays in a certain way that is confident, that is proactive in bits and in spaces, especially in that first half. We need to be proactive, and he needs to do better in that first half. Our performance needs to be better in the first half. Once we get that win against Cape Verde, then you can decide to be reactive in that game against Egypt. Then be a bit proactive in that game against Mozambique. So management is very key. That's what coaching is about. So that's one. Number two, I would love to see an improvement in our attacking outlet. So I always say this: Chris Hughton is who he is. At a certain point in your life, you get to that point, and there's nothing that anyone can do to change you. You are who you are. And Chris Hughton is who he is. He was a left full back as a player in his playing days. He transitioned to coaching. He's a defensive-minded coach.
Okay.
He's over 60? And you can't change him at this point in his career. So, we have to accept that he's a defensive-minded coach. So we are likely to see defensive traits run throughout our campaign, no matter how short or no matter how long it is. And that's where I would want to see how we do or how well we do when it comes to we having the few attacking outlets. So attacking outlets, how we play in transition. So for instance, you look at Mohamed Kudus. He scored 4 goals in 6 games in December before this AFCON. But half of his goals were in transition. You look at those 2 goals he scored and celebrated with Paqueta. You look at that goal he scored against Man United. All of them were in transition. They won the ball off Kobe Menu in Man United's half. 2 passes and boom, Mohamed Kudus slams that ball into the net. So I'll be looking out for how we perform in transition. Those are the things Chris Hughton needs to work on with the Black Stars in training. He doesn't need to do much. Work on the transitions. Work on the set pieces. The deliveries from corners.
Take Jordan off. Jordan, are you off? Say that one too.
That's one. The deliveries.
You don't want Jordan taking free kicks.
Nathan, it's not supposed to be happening at a tournament. Why is Jordan taking corner kicks?
Corner kicks.
What if other players don't want to?
Don't want to? Then have no business being in the
If you come and take me, I'll go and take
They have no business being in the team.
I come out with my matter corner.
Because if you're having problems taking a corner kick, then how would you react when it comes to penalties?
I'm just asking.
If you have a problem taking corner kicks, then how would you react taking penalty kicks? So for me, the set pieces has to be better. And somewhere in between set pieces and transition, there is that issue of the passes, finding the right pass, making the right choices, and delivering on the pass, having the right touch to it, the right velocity to it, to ensure that these moments that will be few and far between for Ghana aren't wasted. To ensure that those situations, those chances aren't wasted. So if I am an observer at the Black Stars training camp or a training session, what I want to say is, okay, we've conceded a corner kick. Our defender Mohamed Salisu has been able to win the first header. The ball lands at the feet of Salih Ahmed. The ball lands at the feet of Majid Ashimeru. The ball lands at the feet of Joseph Paintel, Gideon Mensah, Ali Seidu. How do we transition? Because how we transition will play a key part in what we do.
They'll balloon the ball, simple.
Yeah, exactly. And that is what I want to see, because I always remember this quote. I think one of the British journalists, he said, it was about Man United, that if Man United wanted to talk about what the team is about, all they need to do is just show a video of Alan Smith's goal against AS Roma in 2007.
Yeah.
5 passes,
5
1
passes
touches
from
goal
United
from Man United's goal
to Roma. I remember.
Alan's to Roman's goal, and it ended up in the back of the net.
Somebody Giggs.
Heinz, Michael Carrick, Giggs. Then another player. Then boom, five touches, 1-time passes. No player took more than a touch. 5 passes, and they were in. You look at West Ham's goal. Mohamed Kudus scored. They considered a corner kick. 4 passes, and Mohamed Kudus was running to go sit on the advertising board because he had already scored. And that is what I want to see. The transitions should be on point. The passes should be on point.
Okay.
And we've shown a tendency of trying to play out from the back over our past 4-5 games. And if you are going to play out from the back, we should really work on it. Sharpen the pass. Again, goes back to passes. Sharpen the passes. Know when to position. The positioning should be key. The position should be on point. So the passes should be on point when trying to play out from the back. The passes should be on point when trying to counter-attack. And number 3, our set-piece deliveries must also be on point. So we don't need to work on too many offensive schemes, trying to find a third man in space, playing triangle passes. No. You have to keep it very simple. Work on just these 3 elements, and I assure you Ghana will make it to the final.
I see.
I assure you Ghana will make it to the final.
We will not get there. Don't come and give people false promises.
He said, okay,
no more
Craig, so I'm asking you, what should your name
I'm looking for
what should your namesake do starting this Sunday?
He can't do anything. No more cargo. He can't do anything.
No, Wakush, I think you're being too harsh on Chris Hughton.
No, but what do you think he can do?
I think he will do something.
Like what?
I think this is what he would do.
The man
No,
persistently.
Coach, let me tell you what you do.
Do it persistently, consistently, always, all the time. Waste 45 minutes. First 45 minutes. It's completely wasted. Do you think he will change? He has said nobody's going to change him. Do you think he will change in this tournament? He will not change.
Maybe because it's the tournament he will change.
He can't. Let me tell you something. You wait. Let me tell you something. This is why he will not change. He's not certain as to who will be in goal.
He's still not certain.
Who do you think will be in goal?
Jojo Woloko.
Who do I think will be in goal? I think Ati will be in goal.
It has to be Ati.
Yeah.
There is not going to be Ati.
Richard Ofori will be.
It will be Richard Fori.
Richard Ofori will be.
You see, if you go to South Africa, the Orlando Pirates first choice goalkeeper, he couldn't make the South Africa team. But their reserve number two is the one going to catch for Ghana.
How do you know Richard Ofori will be in post?
Oh, no more. What did Ati actually do to lose his number 1 position?
But Ati has not lost his number 1.
He has.
No,
in our last 2 competitive games, he's not started Ati.
He's not started.
That doesn't mean Ati.
No, you see,
It's not started. I mean, you can
it's
always
one
read meanings into
department
it.
you don't touch, but for injury or suspension.
Okay.
You see, if you are a proper coach, you don't touch that department unless your number 1 is injured or is suspended. But was the situation.
Is that why Bob Santo is still keeping Onana?
No, but at the end of the day, who should it be? It has to be Onana.
We want to see Turkish delight.
And not Ebebashe. You understand what I'm saying? So the man, at the very beginning, when you look at the way Coach Chris Hughton has been orchestrating and managing our team, everything is wrong with it. Like I've just pointed out, in goalkeeping, Richard Ofori, who is sitting on the bench the whole season, bench. Orlando Pirates, 3rd goalkeeper, not even 2nd goalkeeper, 3rd goalkeeper. Ati, who keeps the post week in, week out for his team in Switzerland. No wrongdoing, no bad performance. Boom. He finds himself on the bench. What sort of coaching is that?
Okay.
So first problem. Already, I believe there's a problem with the goalkeeping department. of the three keepers that are there, Ati should be the one. He's the one who is most active. Although his form going to the tournament is not one of the best, but under the circumstances under which we see the three of them, he should be the number one. He will not be the number one. It's Richard Ofori. Even on Monday, we all saw his performance against Namibia. Very shambolic, below standard, below form. He will be there. Chris Hughton will not change that. Now, Nathan Kwao. We don't know the system we are going to employ.
We don't know the system.
We don't know.
Okay.
I do believe that for the fact that all our centre backs are injury prone, we shouldn't play with just two of them.
Okay.
We should play with three of them.
So which three should we start with on Sunday?
I side with him. We should play three of them.
It should be Amate, Jiku, and then Salisu. But even Amate,
But Salisu is just coming back.
kick ball.
But he played 3 straight games for AS Monaco. Full games. Full 90 minutes.
Amate cannot kick the ball.
So he's fine.
There's problem with his knees. You saw on Monday. He couldn't run again. Ikachakile.
Amate's last competitive game was, which one was it?
The one against
Madagascar. Less than 10 yards. Then he sat on the
I
grass.
said,
And Kumasi.
He has not recovered. Athletic.
meanwhile, to the World Cup, he was doing his own thing.
Yes. Cheche left, right, center, Kayo.
against Uruguay.
Yahoo!
So-
Yahoo!
You see, I say we should go back 3, but he will not do it.
He'll go back for
He's never. No, if he was going to do it, the match against
Namibia.
was the perfect opportunity for him to have done that.
He did it against Liberia.
No,
And against Liberia, it was just all three were right-footed players. So it was Joseph Edu, Jiku, and Nicolas Opoku.
You see,
but now at that time Salisu was injured. But now Salisu is back. So I honestly believe that he will go back to that three-man back
look,
line.
he will not do it.
Okay, fine.
Problem number 2.
So goalkeeping, wrong decisions.
Problem.
Defense, okay, and then what else?
Problem number 3.
2 sixes in the middle.
And only problem.
Against Namibia, he played 2.
Salis or Elisha Uzu and what Baba Idrisu. All of them, they can't kick the ball. When I say they can't kick the ball, they only believe in 10 yards, 5 yards, 15 yards, maximum 20 yards of passing. But for the Black Stars to triumph in any major tournament, we have proper midfielders. Aliu Muntari, Michael Essien, Anthony Annan, Kodwa Samoa, Kevin Prince Boateng. These were players who could locate the baby jet 80 yards, 70 yards, passes, into space. That is what Inaki William needs to feed on. Is he going to get it from Salis, from Elisha Wusu, or from Baba Idrisu? Go and check their records. 95% of their forward passing beyond 50 yards goes to the opponent. Go and check. The records are there. Go and check.
But that's why Ashimero is
Ashimero needs, you see, they will need to give him the ball through the transition. But for a team that gives a lot away defensively, Ghanaians should note Ashimero will only be introduced when we are struggling, when we need to go on and win the game.
That's when they'll bring him.
That is
But you're saying
Chris Hughton
that-
for you.
But I'm saying that Chris
Reactive.
Hughton's
That's
starting
reactive.
template is 2 sixes.
It's 2 sixes. Bumping into each other, not you see the other one. Then one person keeps controlling the other as to where he should position himself to receive the ball, to transit the ball vertically. What sort of coaching is this?
And that makes us very predictable.
Very predictable.
Attacking wise, because they know that these guys can pass through the middle and we can't build attack through the middle. So we have to go through the wings.
That's
So they'll just double up
So point number 3.
and kill us off.
This is another reason why, another point why he will not change. If he has balls. If he has balls. And he knows he has balls. Abekwe no on abekwe. Kaluma mo abekwe me. Get your balls eh.
Balls, eh?
Ehane Jordan Tashi.
Cojones.
Jordan.
Look, if Jordan is not going to lead the attack as the number 9, which he will not do, he should sit on the bench.
So is that Jordan as a 9?
Or he
Jordan
sits on the bench. I'm telling you, let me tell you why.
Why?
As a winger, he goes past nobody with no fullback with pace. Never. He will receive the ball, wait for the fullback to come to him, dribble him. The fullback will recover. He will dribble him again before he pass the ball. Whilst the likes of Osman Bukari, the likes of Joe Pencil, the left-footed winger, and the Snyama, they will go past the fullback with genuine pace. You'll be at their back and they are coming. Even Inaki Williams, as a right winger, he needs to operate through the space. Chris Hughton will not do that. Jordan will be on the left. Problematic. Set piece specialist. He will be taking it. So you see the huge imbalance in our team. Now Mohamed Kudus, without a doubt, our star player. Without a doubt, a player who needs to be coached to the benefit of the team. Do not allow him, yes, give him that free role, but don't allow him to do what he wants within the free role.
So you think he needs to be coached?
He needs to be coached. When we are in our half, there's absolutely no need to take more than 2-3 touches on the ball before letting go of it. When we get into the first quarter of the opponent's half, still it has to be touch and move, touch and move, touch and move. It is when you get to the final third, that is where if Kudu says he is skillful. Look, we saw Abedi Peleu. We saw Kudwa Samoa when he was playing as a proper number 10. Kojo in midfield only would touch the ball maximum 3 times and the pass is gone. Kojo in the heart. You remember that game against Mali when he announced his presence in Bamako?
That shot, that goal.
He went past 2-3 players in the attacking 10. That's the ball and all. What we need. That is the sort of, you see, video clips they should be showing Mohamed Kudus. No, come on, no Cassini. He's a very smart player, very intelligent player. By far, a player who I believe, if we were to have a very good tournament in this one, the Black Stars may get to the quarterfinals. The coach will not do that. He will send a clear message. How often do we put in crosses? Because most often than none, there's nobody in the box to be attacking the crosses. So when Joseph Pencil or Osman Bukari themselves dazzle, it's the only time was against Angola. You remember that 2-1 Joseph Pencil, Inaki when Osman Bukari in the box, the Panorama. Since then, have we scored any goal like that before? We've not. So this coach will not change. He's a defensive-minded coach.
Absolutely.
But shockingly too, we tend to give a lot of chances away.
But that's the part I don't.
That is
get.
the part I don't.
Two things baffle me about Chris Hughton.
I can't think far.
One, he's defensively oriented.
But
when I look at a manager like David Moyes is equally
defensive.
But look at the football West Ham play these days.
Yeah.
it's
And the
because
second part, Chris Hughton, they say he leans towards defense. And like you just said, but we keep conceding goals.
that's it.
So
Look, I was watching the Namibia highlight. Richard Ofori and Mokan le back pass the ball and you control. His first touch takes the ball away from him like 4 yards. In the modern game,
you can't do it.
the Egyptians have seen that.
Actually, Osimhen will score all day.
The Cape Verdes have seen that. Mozambique team, they've seen that.
So which means they'll set up the
They will set the trap for us to
now
go
you have
back.
to pass the ball.
When
to
we
the
go
goal.
back, they pounce.
They'll trap you to send.
Another reason why
And that's
Ati
why
will
I
have
say
to be in
Salisu
goal.
is key.
That's for Salisu. That
That's
is
why I say Salisu is key.
Salis. As for him, no more disappointing me. Midfielder, Benin Trosolepa, in a kicky ball. I've never seen him go long. They should give him Wakaso clip. They should give him Ali Muntaro
Our very
clip.
good friend
Of course, when those days he was on form, he was doing the job. Give him the clip of Ali Muntari. Because look, Inaki Williams, he will run and run and run and run. Our defenders, apart from Salis Muhammad, who can pass the ball 70 yards. Amate, when he kicks the ball twice, long like that, Eba Atashi, he can't do him. Kanto ayi Nicolas Opoku e kanto enyo fe
He's so much of
he
a
can't
sus-
run.
He's so suspect every time I watch
So
Nicolas
see,
Opoku.
for us to progress in this tournament, our coach will have to do certain things differently. But like y'all said,
He's not willing to.
this is not the time to change the mentality of the man.
But this is the time to change his mentality because after this tournament,
He's going.
you are going. So why
Does he
don't you
really care?
So why don't you just go for broke?
No, it is when he has a long
Term contract.
content. That is where he cares about where he will be next. He doesn't really care.
You see, and I think a lot depends on the players too. You mentioned David Moyes. David Moyes is also defensive, but the players he has, the quality
That's
that
what I'm
they have, they forced him to to open up.
You see, he has positioned Paketa, Kudus. Look, do you know the strength of that West Ham attack? Is the guy who plays up front as number
Jared
one.
Bowen.
He moves a lot. Because he moves a lot. And with the quality of Paketa and Ward Prowse,
true.
they can pick the long pass. So when they soak you, the moment they win the ball, he's on the move. So the ball, he's good at holding the ball and waiting for them to arrive. Hours when you go to Jordan, when he picks the ball, he will delay and delay and delay and even if you arrive, he won't see you. Delay, dally. Then it fit the ball.
Delay what?
Dally. And let no walk delay dally. If I delay get dally, then the ball yaki. You understand what I'm saying?
Delay Dali.
Get dally, no delay dally. Get the ball yaki.
Charlie.
So you see, look, Ghana. I sit back. I don't support blindly. And the biggest problem in this country, when somebody does the wrong thing, after some time, who should support like that?
When there's money involved.
When there's proper cash involved, somebody refusing to tell how much money they are taking to the tournament.
And they said they'll tell us later.
The Zambians, the Algerians, the South Africans, the Moroccans, even the Nigerians, they've all come out with their budget. Zambia said they are going to spend 2.2 million budget. They don't understand the word progressive. Look, to Sabi, that was the most rubbish statement I've ever. That was the most rubbish statement. You look at the people of this country and you tell us that the budget to be spent on the AFCON, you cannot tell us. You are going. When you go and tell me you bought one coconut for $100, like somebody did in 2014, then I sit there and I accept that is the budget. It's gross disrespect. Gross disrespect to the people of this country. And me, I have tweeted. You've seen my tweet. The God of Ghana will speak. I don't support blindly. I've got children. We've got children. We've got grandchildren to take care of. You don't spend our money in a haphazard manner and expect us to go and pray. When I hear people pray for the Black Stars, I should pray for the Black Stars at the expense of the people on the street. They are not more Ghanaian than those people on the street. Why can't you be open and transparent about this? Why can't you be open and transparent about this? We went to Qatar. The man came and said we spent. But do you know who I blame? I blame the Parliament of Ghana.
That's what I've always been saying.
I blame the Parliament. Look,
I'll give you a simple example.
Honorable Speaker of Parliament. His full name is what? Aban
Kingsford
Sumane. Babi numo. Me tu chema. Papa. Yes, rew bebre. One pabo 5p. One pabo 5 no kwa febu. One pabo 5 ni yo was zebaut. Then cha job ne blowing be no nani.
Okay.
Neke minister neke ba. He should not even only give us the breakdown to Cote d'Ivoire. Take him back to Qatar. Because when some of us tried to get the breakdown, we were frustrated and frustrated and frustrated, and we never got the breakdown to the budget in Qatar. Because of this, I am praying very hard that the Black Stars will not go past the group stage. Yes, I'm telling you, me, Coach Nimley, look, what is football? Football is not better than even one single Ghanaian. Be open, be transparent. Tell us how much money you are going to spend. After all, when the head cut came, no politician was affected in this country. None of them. Because they knew that was going to happen. They took their monies. Only God knows where they've taken their money to. I can't assess my investment. You can't assess your investment. My children's future is being endangered for the next 5 years. Money that I have sweated for tomorrow. Me.
Right now, boys are complaining about price of gobe.
You understand?
Gobe.
I can't. If I have 10 cities and inyama here gobe ni matter. Who told you I'm not proud to see people who go to rep Ghana portray Ghana in the right way? I was very happy to see the Black Stars with their kente showcasing Ghana.
And Kaftan.
But at the expense of that, I need to know how much that costs.
We have arrived in style.
We need to know.
Drip.
Because be a water. After Qatar, somebody goes and buys his wife's family's property and turns it into an event center.
True talk.
Charlie.
Why are you like that?
And turn it to an event center after Qatar.
Saying that.
They cannot bring the breakdown after Qatar.
Why are you like every time?
I'm not trying just at our back.
It's okay.
So you have to be very transparent on these matters. The House of Creating, he will not change.
I'll give you a quick one on the parliament thing. Look, it's like you having a child, and every time you spend money on that child, you take him or her to the best schools. You pay the largest, some of the largest fees. You give him or her the best clothes, school uniform. After every term, after every month, you buy new ones, buy the best sneakers. Give him or her the best of education, extra classes with teachers, everything. Then that child goes to write exams, and term in, term out, disappointing results, mediocre results, to the point that even the standards are dropping. Where, connecting it to the Black Stars, 2017, 2015, we were making the finals and semi-finals. Now it dropped to
From second round, group stage.
Now
Group stage.
Okay.
And you keep on giving that child money. Do you expect that child to step up and be a bit serious when it comes to his or her education? That child will be complacent and laid back and continue to do what is wrong.
Okay.
Because he or she knows that when I go to daddy, when I go to mommy, they will take care of it, or they will take care of me.
Yes. Let the child feel a bit more responsibility.
That is how the parliament needs to treat the GFA, especially in connection to the Black Stars.
What?
That's how the
speaker.
But you know that technically and legally the parliament can't do anything.
No,
They can
do something with the money. See,
to give the breakdown.
The one who has the money has the power.
I'm saying that this is what I want everybody to understand.
Yes, they can't interfere.
The parliament cannot call. Technically, as things stand, we all know how the GFA is registered.
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Fantastic. So if the
GFA.
parliament, I'm coming. He mentioned that.
I mentioned GFA.
He mentioned GFA.
Yes,
I
I'll give you an example.
I just want
Bring it.
to put that into context. The parliament can ask the sports minister.
Yes.
to
No,
come
but
and
how
do-
about breakdown?
and that is right.
how
I'm
about
saying
breakdown?
that per the GFA's legal structure.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong. From what I understand, I don't think the parliament.
The parliament can't.
That would be interference.
That would be interference.
That cannot be interference. The GFA rules and laws is not bigger than the laws of Ghana.
but that's FIFA. But it's under FIFA.
I'm saying that.
No more FIFA then
The thing is, the one who has the money has the power.
Don't do that. You are incurring the wrath of FIFA.
They should
resolve it.
So it is the sports minister, the GFA, sorry, the sports minister, the parliament can call, and the
Yes.
parliament should call the sports
Exactly.
minister.
Call him and decide the budget.
Of course.
Exactly.
Look at-
so if you
yeah.
decide to give
So
the
last
GFA
one, but wait,
2 million,
but let's look at the man who
Guys,
spoke.
we need to read
He
messages.
actually present. I think there was a time when he went to parliament and gave a breakdown, but he didn't really give us.
He gave us
a
a
lot
figure.
of yes.
He gave
told
us
us
a
give
figure.
him
He
going
said,
and come back with the breakdown. That
the
never
breakdown-
happened.
and never happened yet.
That's my last point before we go to the message. The one who spoke, I hear he's the purse holder. Monica, the budget is a progressive thing.
Who was that?
Charles Amaka, that's the PRO for the
The
Ministry of
NSA.
Youth.
Okay.
He doubles as the
The ministry
PRO
for
for
the-
Yes,
he's
so he's the PRO for the Ministry of Youth and Sports. He doubles as the NSA's PRO too.
Okay, so he told us that. He should stop that. No more come and he should have just kept quiet. It's better. But what he said, like I said, is the most rubbish statement I've ever heard. He should stop that. They should stop that too. They are taking it for granted.
Because our representatives stressing enough. Because we can go out there and fight.
They did a tournament and they try one match. 10 minutes ago, they get break the record. They set a new record. This should be his last.
He should score as well. He should score.
No more Gwele Beshida. This should be his last tournament.
I saw an interview.
After this tournament, Andre, look, nobody loves you more than me.
But
no more. Any be a share. Just concentrate on club football. Jemedenche, you played only 31 minutes. The whole in 6 months you played only 31 minutes. Not more than 31. You're going to captain our team. Another reason why we will not win the cup. So get him to break the record.
And then
even when we are losing, if he goes in for 1 minute, the record is his. No,
let me go through messages. Nana Abuaje says throughout the tournament they will play only 4 matches, 3 group games and Kotoka International Airport. Why? Oliver from Tema says, I think the Black Stars can win only if the coach gets the tactics right. I'll ask everybody to give me their preferred starting 11 for Sunday.
I told you, Chris Shawnee.
Fame from Amasaman says, good evening, Nathan and everyone in the studio. For Black Stars, our calculators will be ready after Sunday's match. Usually the calculators come out after the second game.
Yes. And that will be against Egypt.
That's usually when you bring calculator. Yeah. You know, if we win this, win that. I remember the 2010 World Cup, Charlie. As the game was happening, I was monitoring the other game because, Charlie, we needed Germany to do something for us. All right, Joseph from SEC says, Black Stars all the way. St. Pablo from Chado says, so the ministry is trying to tell us to wait for the tournament to end before we know the AFCON budget. I recommend that they read Luke 14:28-30. And that scripture says, is there anyone who, planning to build a new house, doesn't first sit down and figure the cost so you know if you can complete it? If you only get the foundation laid and then run out of money, you are going to look pretty foolish. Whoever has ears, let them hear. And this is,
This is from the word.
It's from the word.
The word, not us.
Zalix, when in London, Chris Hughton is not serious. I wish them all the best. This one is from J. Cole in Sawam. I didn't know J. Cole was in town. Yeah, I mean, they said J. Cole. J. Cole from in Sawam. So, if there's lack in football, then maybe Ghana might go far. But if we talk about teamwork, preps, tactics, system of play, let's be truthful to ourselves. Ghana won't get far.
True.
Someone from OEB says, Happy New Year to you all. I believe our coach has been poor, but let's exercise patience for him. It's not a good thing to denigrate someone, especially when things are not going well for them. It's almost as if the whole world is against the man. Let's be moderate in our criticism, having in mind that things are easier said than done.
Nothing is easy in this world.
You should just vacate.
Is there anything easy in this world? No way cool.
You see, Samuel, we
can't agree with someone.
You see, if you say that,
this is a guy who was there.
But the point is,
over $50,000 a month.
I'm coming.
Who should be patient?
But the point is that someone from UB, if Houston has been Black Stars coach for a while.
He was before even the Black Stars coach.
He has been around our team for over 2 years.
He was a technical advisor.
After 2 years,
you don't know what you're about.
When we watch this team and we don't understand what you have to go. You are taking a lot of money.
You have to go.
Run out Kwame slashes. If you see something, say something. Coach will kill person. Coach from Kaso says we should stop making reference to the 4 times Ghana won the AFCON and think we are a nation that should be favorites to win every tournament. The last time,
8 teams, 6 teams, 12 teams.
The last
time we won, there were 12 teams. 8 teams.
1982.
No, the 82 were 8 teams.
Even the debacle of Boake in 1984, they were just 8 teams. Who were in Group B with Nigeria, Algeria, and Malawi.
All right, this one says maybe a win and a draw and 1 massive loss. Then we come home at the group stage. Next one says Uncle Caesar says the Black Stars have become like Arsenal. The goal is to make top 4. Operation qualify for World Cup or AFCON.
Yeah.
Eko Oche from Shai Hill says, I think the whole country should be praying that the Black Stars as a team with their management committee members are booted out of the group stage. So we are saved the greed, looting, complaining, and lamentation. This one says, Leonard from Adenta, kudos to you guys. Talking about AFCON, we shouldn't forget good and professional officiating. It can't be overlooked. It's true. We don't want another Yanni Sikazwe episode where you end the match after 80-something minutes. He said it was the heat.
His stroke is not.
Look at the players who were running under the heat. They ran, but they don't run other than the players anymore.
All right, this one says, when the Black Stars had two of the best players in Africa, in Abedi Pele, Tony Eboa, with goalkeeper Eddie Ansah as the best goalkeeper. Are you sure? The memory I have of Eddie Ansah
that never made him the best.
Says the Black Stars couldn't win a cup. So now if they will break the 40, good luck to them. Max from Otinibi says, I wish to win the AFCON, but not with this team. All right. This one says Pawili says you need a good striker, the kind of striker who can win games on their own, not defensive and foul-winning strikers like Jordan. Interesting. This one says Black Stars games. Cape Verde 1, Ghana 0. Egypt 3, Ghana 1. Mozambique 2, Ghana 1. This one says Ramsdale was number 1 to Matt Turner at Arsenal. When England played USA, Turner was imposed for America. Ramsdale was on the bench. Says leave the goalkeepers, they will come good. Okay. This one says I was hoping the Black Stars can do well in at least semi-finals so they won't use camping as an excuse. All right, this one says they should play 5-4-1, not concede more goals because they are not going to beat any team. All right. Kofi Gab says I find it difficult to understand why coach is stressing too much. Jose said he now understands why Ghana has good midfielders, but now all our midfielders are flat due to influence player selection.
Yes, no more. The same type of players. Elijah,
right. Okay, this one. Okay, seems
second division players.
TJ Nkofredia, he says it seems the team has a lot of problems and the coach too won't change. In some Ghana won't do well. This one's Charlie, guys. Will they be allowed to feature in Sunday's game because that will be our loss? Charlie, why are you doing this? All right, still listening to Sports Panorama. You can send in your thoughts and comments on 0549986996. Show proudly brought to us by Bell Beverages and Game Park Games. At 8:14, we have about 16-15 minutes. Of course, the Premier League is on this weekend. Those who have forgotten, the Premier League is on.
Yeah, games are still on. Don't
and
forget.
It's live on City 97.
Week 21,
FM. Yes, week 21 is happening. I think the biggest game is Man United versus Tottenham.
Oh no, it's not big. It's not big like that.
It's arguable because there's Man City, Newcastle.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it's arguable.
Don't have Joelinton, so.
But they are performing better than Man United, so when you pair them against Man City, that makes it. Yeah, that gives them that edge over the Man United.
Where is Newcastle on the log?
I think they're in the top 5.
Because they've dropped to the top. I think they are 7th also.
But Man United is
7th, 8 or 9.
Yeah. Newcastle and Man United are not far from each other. One is above the other.
But they are handling things a bit better with their injury issues.
Well, we'll see. Kulusevski has sent us a mail. I don't know if he's sending us from the Tottenham Hotspur team hotel. I don't know. The Abidjan ladies are loaded, though. I hope the players concentrate.
Look, you see, that is a massive point that we need to stress on. When we went to America, I was not there.
Okay, Man United ranks 8. And Newcastle
the information that came, the Black Stars Hotel was like a disco center. When we went to the last, was it the AFCON or the World Cup? I've forgotten. You remember Nketiah came and gave us a proper breakdown. No discipline in our camp. This one too, we are playing in the city, one of the topmost cities in Cote d'Ivoire. If na kanketo kreku macho manage your man Aziz, if you are the secret, this is your job, but you can't be beating journalists and allowing women to be going in and out of the Black Stars camp like that.
We don't know.
No more cable. You understand? So they have to provide top-notch security. These boys should sleep early, train and eat and rest. No extra.
They should not be doing any extra.
You remember when we went to South Africa, the player who got injured after 10 minutes.
I remember.
You remember what he
I know that player. The player who the team bus waited for. When everybody was ready and they were going to play Burkina Faso. That player was
semi-finals. After 10 minutes, the players was
that
injured.
player was late in joining the team bus.
And you know what he was doing. Accelerator. After 10 minutes, one of our key players, not that firm. Eventually, we couldn't do anything. We got booted out. So that is very key.
Despite all the assistance
After
from
the French, after the Ivorian ladies, you know. No matter when you become yeah. Instead of concentrating, you are distracted, and then yeah, and there'll be problems.
So you're saying that we need to keep the players
away from these things.
Yeah, so our formation. It's all part of the
Aziz, ya tu onu tumo ene doje wa IGG journalist Kenya ene do onu tumo.
Hey, Black Stars. Yo. Anyway, guys, okay, so people should give me their starting 11s.
Start from my
Now, I feel we'll honor Joe Wollacott for what happened prior to he helping the team get to the last tournament. So he'll be in post. There will be Alexander Djiku pairing with Mohamed Salisu. Then Ali Seidu and Rastaman throw one stone. Gideon Mensah.
So which means you don't have Danny Amate.
No, Amate is suspect. Amate there. If we go on that level, that's misbehavior. Amate should be like spared something. You know. So in the midfield, we are playing a 4-2-3-1. So in the midfield, we put, of course, Ashimeru and seeing Salit Abdul Samad with him and giving direct instructions between the two, who goes and who stays. Then the three up front, Mohamed Kudus should play. It no be any Western tactics of knock something. The guy is from Nima. He has seen physical play before. He should be in the number 10 position. I see there's no way the coach is going to drop Jordan.
Jordan.
It's a problem. You play.
As for Jordan,
Jordan.
so never in my life have I seen a player
split opinions.
like how think about it. You can't take him out of he's there.
Yeah.
You can.
But how many coaches have had the guts to do it?
You can't do that. You
Anyway,
cannot do that.
I mean,
So I see Jordan on the left, maybe an Osman Bukhari on the right, and Inaki Williams up front.
okay. So Jordan on the left, you're saying Osman on the right.
Yeah.
I see. Gabi.
Nathan. I think that based on what I've seen with Chris Hughton, the way he likes to set up his team,
Dada Noir.
and he doesn't like to give the attacking players we've got in the squad a chance or to liberate them
He only does when we are one goal down.
to express themselves. Because if you look at the squad we've got, I think our strength lies in the forwards, in the midfield. The defense is not that good. And
because of
this is a
injuries,
tournament. And based on what we've seen in games like against Angola, against Madagascar, against Comoros, where we play very badly in the first half, and the second half we turn up with a very good performance.
But
I think that
Capito played right.
yeah, he
Capito
played.
started
He started the first half when he was younger. He was younger. So I think Nathan, I think we should set up in like Coach has said and Yah said, in a 5-3-2 formation, because it's a tournament. So I think I would go with Lawrence Atizigi in post. I would want to have Gideon Mensah, of course. He would start on the left side. Ali Disiedu should start on the right. The defender 3, of course, Salisu on your left, playing closer to Gideon Mensah. Jiku in the middle, and Daniel Amati playing closer to Ali Disiedu. So that's your right centre back.
Okay.
Now the midfield
So for
three.
you, 5.
Yeah, the midfield three. I would go with Baba Idrisu. I don't like the way coach is.
Yeah.
Good. How does that mean to you?
I'm going Baba Idrisu to start as our DM. I would want to start as Shimero. If I'm Hilton,
But you know
Shu.
that Chris Hughton, he won't start as
Yeah, he won't start.
You play Baba
But
Idrisu and
if
Salis.
I'm Hilton Shu and I'm setting up against Cape Verde, I would want Ashimaro to start. Kudos, joining them in the midfield 3. Now your front 2, I'll go with Inaki Williams and Antoine Semenyo
Okay.
to start, because I think these players, give them the license to move to the right or the left. It should be a fluid front 2 because they've shown time and time and again, especially what they've done with their club side, especially with Inaki, he's played mostly as a right wing, and that is where he's operated or functioned very well. Same with what's his name? Antoine Semenyo. Yes, because I look at the other forwards we've got. Jonathan Sowa is your proper centre forward, and I don't want to throw Jonathan Sowa in that to start again, not because I don't think that he's not good enough, but I think that we would have to start right against Cape Verde. Jordan should be introduced later because, look, let's not kid ourselves. We are going to see Cape Verde dominate us in terms of possession.
I see.
No, I'm a player. See, we be a
When you look inside,
Because
They've been good.
Thank you, coach. They have players with Portuguese decent,
I'm a Lebotwa.
and they are going to dominate us. So
If you remember, even in South Africa, we beat them 3-0.
When we
they
see-
had a lot of the ball.
when we see that it's 44th minute and they've hit the post like 4 times, and we are yet to even do a proper transition, we shouldn't be surprised, Nathan, because that is how we are going to play against Cape Verde, and that's what Hilton will want to do. But I know that Hilton has got his own plans, and he'll go and start Andre Ayew. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah. For me, yeah,
we don't want Capito to break record. What are you talking about?
oh, he can come in later. I mean, there's no
Capito
there's no
for the
harm in
record.
that.
I was watching an interview of his wife. She was
Yeah.
Canal
She's
Plus.
Ivorian.
Yeah,
She's
she was
saying,
on Canal
she'll be supporting Andre. But
very interesting
But
interview.
if Ivory Coast wins, she'll also be happy. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's understandable. But at the end of the day, for me, Ghana should set up in a 3-4-3 formation. More or less like a 3-4-2-1, but not with a 2 playing as inside forwards. And so 3 men at the back. Yeah, goalkeeping, Richard Ofori. 3 men at the back. Salisu lines up on the left. Daniel Amate in the middle. Then Alexander Juku on the right.
You play Jiku down the right.
Yes, play Juku down the right. Then Ali Duseidu operates as the wing back, the right wing back, and Gideon Mason operates as the left wing back. But the right side, I'm a bit how would I put this? I'm not too sure about their disciplinary record, because between Jiku and Ali Duseidu, they commit a lot of fouls. And Ali Duseidu in 15 French Ligue 1 games this season already has 5 yellow cards and 1 red card. And Jiku also picks up a fair share of yellow cards. So that's what I'll be looking out for, how to those two keep their disciplinary shape. But aside that, I think that they are fine players and they should fit into this system. Then in the middle two, straightforward, Majid Ashimiro should be a starter. He should be a starter because he gives this team that attacking outlet centrally. Then pair him with Salih Samed. Then up top as the wing forwards, you have Mohamed Kudus on the left. Then you have Antoine Semenyo on the
So you play
on the
Mohamed
right.
Kudus on the left.
On the left, just the way West Ham sets up. Because I believe that you set up your game plan to help your best players excel. Because they are the difference makers in your team. And so you want to put them in a position where they can excel. And because when they excel, it helps the team more than, let's say, you positioning a good player and allow him to excel. Because the impact you have on the team or the team's ability to win is quite minimal compared to what your A-star or A-list guy would be able to do so. And so for me, line up Kudus on the left and line up Antoine Semenyo on the right and have Iñaki Williams start up top. Very fluid attack, very creative attack, they can switch places. Have Kudus play as a false 9. 1 minute, have Antoine Semenyo play as a false 9. The next minute, have Iñaki Williams also play through the middle. And
So-
that's the fluidity. Something that's very reminiscent of what Kudus gets at West Ham, because they are very fluid. And I will always use this example. Kudus' last game for West Ham against Man United. The first half, they struggled. And it was Kudus on the left, Paqueta in the middle, and Bowen on the right. But Bowen started his career as a winger. But Lucas Paqueta isn't comfortable playing in that position. And so in that second half, all David Moyes did was swap the two. Bowen moved to the left side. Then Paqueta moved centrally. And we saw what happened. They stepped up their performance and they ended up winning that game by 2-0.
Okay.
With Paqueta assisting and Jared Bowen scoring a goal and Kudu scoring a goal. That's how I think Ghana should set up.
Okay, so I'll do two things here. What Chris Hughton would definitely do, and what I would have done.
Okay.
So this is what Chris would do. He will go with Richard Ofori. He will go with Odwe. Gideon Mensah.
So the two fullbacks.
Yes, he will go a back four. Those will be the two fullbacks, and he will play with Daniel Amate and Jiku. He'll go with Salis and Baba Idrisu. He will go with Inaki on the right, Kudus as a number 10,
Jordan on the left.
and then Semenyo as the lead striker
With
and
Jordan
Jordan on the left. That is what he will
That's
do.
what he'll do. Okay.
This is what I would have done. I will start with Lawrence Atizigi, a back three of Amate, Jiku, and Mo Salisu. And then wing backs, I will not play Ali Dusedu
Okay.
because I don't think he's a good crosser of the ball.
Okay.
I will go with Odwe as my wing back,
Okay.
right wing back.
Yeah.
And of course, Gideon. as
Why
my-
would you play Dennis Odoi as your right wing back?
I think he understands the position better than Ali Dusedu. Ali Dusedu, even as a fullback, like y'all said, in my view, is too rugged for my liking. He'll get booked within the first 10 minutes and he'll be treading on thin ropes. You don't want that to happen. And of course, I was in Kumasi when I watched the Black Stars played against Madagascar. Constantly, Chris Hughton had to coach him to give the team width. And whenever the ball got to him, Chris was encouraging him to go forward, but he always saw the need to come back. So if you remember, he never came back in that second half. He got young. Since then, he's not played for Chris again. When we went to Comoros, he didn't play. Odwe played. Even in the friendly game against Namibia, he didn't play. Odwe played.
Okay.
So I think in that battle, he's lost his position to Odwe.
To Dennis.
So
Okay.
Odwe will play. So this is what I would have done. The back three of Ati, Jiku, Amate, and then what? Salis. Between Mo Salisu, between Amate and Jiku, who would I have in the middle? I think I'll put Amate in the middle and put Jiku on the right and then Mo on the left. Now the wing backs should be I would have done Odwe and then Gideon Mensah. And then I will, because that already tactically gives me 5 defenders, then I will play only one proper holding midfielder.
Okay.
That, in my view, will be Salis. Although he doesn't pass the ball well, he tackles better, in my view, than Baba Idrisu. And he tends to play it a bit. He's a better protector of the ball. Even under pressure, he can keep it tight. So I'll play him, and then I'll play Ashmeru alongside him because we need to transit the ball quickly. So you win it, give it to Ashmeru. He passes it quickly to Kudus, or he can drive it in space, and then we are off the mark. Then I'll play Kudus just in front of Salis and Ashmeru. Then the front two, I'll go with Inaki Williams and Antoine Semenyo.
Okay.
He does that where Inaki is given the freedom to be roving into space. Look, we'll be very quick in our transition. In the final third, apart from Kudus, who will be looking to dazzle, Inaki and Semenyo will be looking for the least opportunity to strike at goal. You put Jordan there, the ball will have to be beautifully set before he can hit and go for power.
I see.
In the air, Semenyo is better than him. In the air, Inaki is far better. And I think if Kudus were to be playing with these two guys, who will give him lots of movement ahead of him, he will be, they will pull players away from him, go up, and then he can pass the ball when he is properly coached. So it depends on Chris Hughton. That is where the problem is.
Interesting. The AFCON starts this weekend. We'll see how Ghana will fare on Sunday. Of course, there's live commentary of the AFCON on Citi 97.3 FM, supported by the AFCON Daily Show, supported by other programs, Scorecard and all of that, supported by very beautiful written content on citisportsonline.com. So this is where the AFCON is. So stick with us all through. You never regret it. That's Sports Panorama for this evening. My name is Nathan Kwa. I sat in for Benjamin Nketiah. I will tell you where he's gone, or he will report himself one of these days. Let me thank the guys, Coach Christopher Nimley.